Okay, that is good. That is good. So let me officially welcome you all to the boot camp, and I really wish you do enjoy your time here. As we discussed, today will be the onboarding meeting, so we will have to now discuss a few things, and then we see how everything will go for the 21 days. I was thinking there could be a way for you to also talk back to me, but it looks like there isn't that way. Okay, I am viewing the host screen. I don't know how it appears on the screen, but if there's any way you can turn on some microphone and then give me some audio input, I think that will be great. Other than that, we'll have to manage the text part. Someone is saying they can't hear. Okay, please, there's a way to use reactions and make him know what is going on. So if you can't hear me or if my tone is a bit fast, you can let me know so that it will benefit all of us. Okay, Prince, you said thank you. So you can hear. And Masanyo, I pronounce the name right. I don't know if you cannot hear me, then I think the problem may be from your microphone or something like that. So try and then adjust it, and then I think you can hear me clearly. So I'll move ahead with the agenda for today. As I sent to you via the email, today we'll be discussing the things that we have to look at whilst this boot camp is also in progress. The things that we need to set up and all the things that you have to do and not do so that we can all enjoy this boot camp together. It's lovely to see you all. Engineer, I see you too. Okay, so I'll start presenting my screen and let me know when you see it. Okay, so my screen is up and complete. Now it's a blank screen. It's just the Windows desktop background that you will see. And I think that should be coming from. Please give me a minute. Okay, thank you. I pinned the message on the WhatsApp group, but others did not see it. So I'll go ahead and then present from my computer to you. Okay, so this is a boot camp, and you should expect to be writing a lot of code. So we have our little bot greeting us. That means that we should expect a lot from him. And I am using a microphone with a good signal to noise ratio, but I cannot really promise you that it will eliminate all background noises. What I'll do is that after every stream, I will try and, I think it is being recorded by the platform itself. If this one doesn't record, I will record the screen the next times we meet, and then it will be available for you to watch afterwards. I will show you how you can do that. So that shouldn't be a problem. If you're unable to join, or if you join and you don't get something and you're not able to ask your question also. It can also be for future reference also. So as part of the mail I sent you, I told you that in the onboarding meeting, we're looking at what we can expect in the bootcamp. I believe most of you, those of you sent me private messages, sent me your expectations and all, and how that you have been looking for something like this. So I actually promise that it will be something that will take you from beginner to a confident developer. So in this meeting, I will discuss with you what you are supposed to expect from the bootcamp. And I think it should also include what I expect from you also. And then we will also set up our development environment. That is the platform. We make sure that our phone and our computers will be good for the Python development. And then after that, we will look at familiarizing ourselves with the streaming platform we are using currently. For some of you, like maybe this is your first time joining a webinar with software like this, so how to navigate your way around and all that, you get to look at it. And then there will be a question and answer session also. So this is what we will be following. And I don't know how your participant screen look like, but if you, Brown is saying that you can't see, but it's showing here that it's actually live, and then you can see it. I don't know. Please let me know in the comments whether you can see my screen or not. I'm projecting currently. Okay, thank you, Caleb. You can see, thank you. And Brown, I don't know why you can't see, but when we get to the part of familiarizing ourselves with the environment, we will see if we can. Okay, I think I get it now. It kind of goes off and comes in. I don't know why. But I think it should be good now. So at least I have to introduce myself to you. You are in this meeting. So who is this person that is coming to take the sessions that you have for this 21 days? My name is Thomas Vance Boche. I have a bachelor's degree in geomatics engineering. So I am a geospatial engineer, but I do more of the analysis. So I look at myself as a geospatial analyst. But in another sense, and the one which is even more conducive to this particular course, is that I'm a software developer also. I am part of the ALX Software Engineering 2022 batch, and I'm also a Meta certified professional developer. And so I develop software for mobile, webs, and then for desktop platforms also. I perform analysis also with code and also software. That is for the geospatial part. If that word is new to you, that is only to say that I analyze location-based data. Among my expertise are C++. That's the C++ more for the desktop development, and then the that for the Flutter, which is the mobile, and also cross-platform. It can actually be used for desktop development and web also. And then the Python also for web and other analysis, and then JavaScript for most of the web stuffs. And if you want to connect with me, I'm very active on LinkedIn. In fact, that's the only social media platform that you can easily interact with me on. You just type my full name like this, and then you will find me, and then we can connect. And I also run a YouTube channel currently focused on software development for web and some few of desktop. And so if you want to also follow up and then advance your Python or skills or even JavaScript, you can check out that channel after this. But I really recommend that you go through the bootcamp because some of the staff there are a little advanced for complete beginners to familiarize themselves with. Okay, so what to expect? Please, at any point in time, if you want to draw my attention to something you can type it as a comment, and then I'm actually monitoring it as I speak. So if you type it, I will answer it there, then we continue. So now back to what you are supposed to expect from me or from the bootcamp itself. Sorry. Every day we will have, for the 21 days, we will have a live 1 hour webinar for the sessions. And that will happen from Monday to Friday, 16:30 GMT to 17:30, no, 18:30 GMT to 19:30 GMT. So just around this time that we started the onboarding meeting, we will have the daily webinars also just around that time. And it will be a 1 hour live session. And you should also expect an in-depth understanding of the Python language itself and also the general architecture of programming languages. The course module has been structured that, you will not just dive into code, you start diving into code. It was prepared for complete beginners to the trade. So we will take a look at how computers even look at things, the way they look at things, and the general, why even we need programming languages and what is this programming languages that they talk about. And when you talk about programming itself, what is it about and what do we intend doing when we say we are coding? And then, so if you learn the Python very well and then you really understand the architecture of all programming languages and how they really work, you can transfer the knowledge easily to any other programming language. I started with Python and I really took time to not just understand the language, but also understand computer programming in general, jumping from courses to courses, from websites to websites. Every material I can find myself, I can lay my hands on that will help me. I actually took advantage of it. And that's from Python, I switched to other languages and I really found that very easy. Also, you should expect some daily trial assignments, which are completely optional. So after every day's webinar, I will give you some assignments, which are trial assignments. You are not expected to submit them. There will be no penalties if you fail to do so. But they are supposed to help you to understand what we did for the day, and then so that you can also brush up your skills. And if I should tell you the honest truth, there is no easy way for you to learn and understand programming unless you practice daily. And even me, for the things I do, sometimes if I leave my staffs for a long time, when I come back, I do have to refresh before, because sometimes I forget some of the things that I do. But the things that I do almost all the time, it's very hard for me to forget. So there will be trial assignments for you to practice daily. So you should expect that one also. And there will also be weekly compulsory assignments. And that is how I will assess that you really understood what is it that you are learning from here. So the weekly assignment will be compulsory. You'll be required to submit it at a particular time, after which the portal will be closed and you will not be able to submit it. You should also expect a certificate of completion. But if you can see from my screen, you see that I've added an asterisk to it, which is to tell you that there is a condition attached. It's not a mandatory condition. This bootcamp is completely free. You can see that is why at a point I closed the registration. So even though this stream will be available afterwards for people to watch, but your advantage will be that you are watching this live and you can ask me a question, pause me at any time, ask me a question, and then you get an answer. And you also stand a chance of getting a certificate of completion. That should be your benefit for registering. The certificate will not be available for those who are watching the after stream. I'm very sorry about that. And so for the certificate, you will be required to submit all weekly assignments. And then you will also be required to attend the sessions also, except you have some very specific reason, a very strong and good reason that you'll be absenting yourself from our sessions, because I'll have to keep track of your attendance, and the certificates will have verification links. I'm really working on that. As I speak, I'm working on a website, dedicated website for this camp, so that I can upload certificates with verification links. You share it on LinkedIn, or you send it to a recruiter, you add it to anything that you want to use with your CV for the certificate for. You just share it, the person can click on the link, provided it's a soft copy version that you are sharing, which you receive. By print it, somebody cannot click on the link on the printed paper. But if it's a soft copy, the person can click on it, and then it will take you to a website that will say that so and so, maybe Thomas Bansboche, this is certificate. This is to verify that the holder of the certificate, Thomas Bansboche, successfully attended the boost camp, and all other accolades that will really give a good impression to whoever is viewing your certificate. I'll put it there. So you have to submit your weekly assignments, and then you have to also be present. Sorry, you have to be present for our sessions also. You can see that before you join the stream, you have to do a small registration via form. So that is what I'll be using to keep track of the attendance. After everything, I can just download all the registered participants, and so I can keep track of the attendance, and I'll use that to give the certificate. Okay, so we have gotten to the parts where we will set up our development environment. Please, if there is anything I said that you don't understand in the previous points, you can type it out in the questions, and then I'll address it before we continue. Okay, so I assume that there is nothing like that. And so you continue to see how we can set up our development environment. Most of the things I will not be explaining them today, but on Thursday, I think that should be the day that we start. No. Today is Tuesday, so we start on Thursday. Then I will explain why we are doing the things we do. Don't worry, I'll really explain everything to you, why we are doing what we are doing. So in as much as you are coming to install some things blindly today, like I will tell you to actually click here, just get them on your PC, and then when we start, I'll tell you why we did what we are doing. So a development environment, I will not really explain so much of it here, but that is just to say that it's a place where, or in a way that we set up software, like when you want to type a letter, you probably open a text editing application like Google Docs, Microsoft Office, Notepad, and those things, and then you can just type it and then print it out and or send it to somebody. That is an environment for typing and editing text. So if I say development environment, that means an environment that we use for our development or our coding. And with that, we'll be installing Python, the language of choice for this bootcamp, and what we call IDEs, which stand for Integrated Development Environments. Let me try and put some banners on the screen too. So an IDE is an integrated development Okay, so that's it. It's an integrated development environment, which I will also explain in details on Thursday. But for now, that is what I was talking about. I understand that not all of us, or let me say, all of us are not in one geographic location. And so I know that for some of you, English may not really be your first language. I know that sometimes I do speak fast. So if you at any point think that I'm going a little fast, you can easily draw my attention and I will slow down for you. So we look at first how to install Python, and then we'll install the IDEs also. So this is the time that if you are watching with your phone, you have to now switch to your laptop or computer and then go to the website and then follow what I'm doing. Let me bring in a browser. So any browser of your choice, I'll be using the Microsoft Edge browser. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, I am trying, but it looks like it's not working. But whatever search engine you are using, just type Python download. Please, I'm using more than one screen, so if you see me turn away from the camera, I really apologize for that. In that case, I'll be looking at the other screen or be checking my notes and my time also at the other side because I am trying to follow some things that I have planned out. So Python download, then you search, and now I think I can zoom into the browser. Yes. Python download. Mostly what you see on the first thing that pops up should be something like this, where you see Python download, python.org/download. Maybe the Google search will not really come like this. This is Bing. That is why this is happening this way. But whatever the case is, you should see some link that says www.python.org/downloads. That is what we are interested in. Can I draw it on my screen? I don't think so. But this is what we are interested in. So just make sure you click on this. Let me copy the link also and then paste it in the chat and also as a banner. It's not really working like that. So let me just click on it at first. Oh. So I've added the link as a chat. You can click on it from there. And then also let me hide this one, create a new banner. That's what we are currently doing. On this website, the Python website, usually they will tell you that the latest version should be somewhere here. Okay, I think now they didn't put it there, but they might tell you the latest version just at the top here somewhere. They say Python lets you work quickly and integrate systems more efficiently. We'll find out that very soon. But we will mostly be interested in scrolling down to we find downloads. I don't know, I think they've changed their website because this is not how it usually looks like when I come here. But whatever the case is, just click on downloads. And here you can choose your platform specific. If you are on Mac OS, just you select that one. For me, I'm on Windows, so I will select the Windows. If you want to download the latest version of Python, which is currently version 3.12.1, then you can click here and download it straight. I have no problem with you downloading that one. However, I really recommend that you go a few versions behind the current one And if you're asking why I'm saying so, that is because of some stability issues. Usually, the very latest versions may have some issues, but we have what we call stable releases. Those ones are the ones I really recommend. So I'll click on Windows because I'm on Windows, and then I'll see Python releases for Windows. Now you see that what I just talked about. If I zoom in, you see that we have what we call stable releases, or what is happening. Sorry about that. I think the screen sharing is responding slowly. We have the stable releases and the pre-releases. For the pre-release, we even have Python 3.13, which is even ahead of the latest release. And so you can understand what I said, that those ones, most of the times they may have some issues. At our level, we may not really know what those issues are because we may not really encounter them in the things we do. But for some advanced developments, some of those issues can occur. So myself, I have a version of Python. If I bring up my terminal, let me bring it up and see something. That is my terminal. Don't worry about what I'm about to do. You don't have to do it. But if I should type Python -- version, that is to check my version of Python. You see that I have a version which is Python version 3.9.9. I don't recommend that you download this and install. In fact, you can install any version that you want, but this is the version that I chose to install for no particular reason, I must say so. So please look through these versions of Python. If you all want, you want us all to install the 3.9, we can actually do that. But because I have it, I cannot install that version again. So I think I'll go ahead and install a new version and then delete it later. Maybe I wanted to choose this 3.10, but you can see that it says that 3.10 cannot be installed on Windows 7 or earlier. So just make sure that you fulfill that OS requirement. I clicked on the 3.10.12, and then I can come down to, I think this is just too big. Oh, it's actually telling us that there are no installers for this particular version. So we have to go back and choose another one. Sorry about that. And so if I should go for, I think this one to say no files for this release, I should have seen this one earlier. Okay. Oh, what is happening? Not all of them have files, but I think this 3.10.10 has files. So I'll choose this 3.10.10. You can just press, if you are on Windows, you can just press Control F, and then a small pop-up will come at the top of your screen. You can just type 3.10.10. It will take you to where the 3.10.10 is. It's a web trick that I've showed you, so you can jot that one down. If you are looking for anything on any website, just hit Control and F or Command F if you're on Mac, and then just type what you are looking for. It will come. So we can see here that it says we can download the Windows installer, and for 32-bit machines and for 64-bit machines. I am on a 64-bit, so I'll go ahead and click on that one. It's not really a big file, but your internet speed is also a factor. It's just about 26 megabytes, and mine has started downloading. It is actually done. I'm using a download manager, so that one did it off your screen, so you couldn't see it. This is the file in my downloads folder. Okay. We are currently viewing my Windows Explorer, so you can see that the file I just downloaded, you can see the time, it was 7:02 p.m. just now, is here. Another file that you don't actually have to know about. So this is my Python, which has been downloaded. What I have to do to install this Python is to double click on it. Please, I hope I'm not going so fast. Let me see. Okay, Bridget is saying that she already has Python 3.11.6.4. I'm very sorry for the stream for the occasional breakages. No, you don't have to. If you have the 11.6, 3.11, it's okay. It's okay. You'll be able to do what we are doing also. Okay, I'll slow down. Sorry for the rush. Oh, this thing doesn't want to cancel. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go back. I'll actually go back. We still have like 28 minutes to go, so no reason to rush things. I'll go back to the search and then I'll take us through again. So this was the search. And then when you search for Python download, I'm using Microsoft's browser. So usually what they try and do is that they will bring a card like you see here. It's where they will give you a summary on all the things that they think you need to know firsthand about what you are searching for. But when you scroll down, among the links that will come, one of them should say, welcome to python.org. Something like this should contain a link that says www.python.org. I've also added the same link as a banner below the stream so you can see the link and copy that one straight into your browser. So when you click on it, it should take you to Python's website here. Abdul, I don't really get that my screen is not very visible. Is it that the resolution is low or the screen brightness is dark? I don't really get you by my screen is not very visible. If you can elaborate on that for me, I'll be happy. And the version, that is what, thank you, Caleb. The version I'm downloading is 3.10.10. You can download any version that you want. I actually have a version 3.9.9. And that is even what I'll be using, but I just want us all to go through. I actually have another version of Python which I use for other purposes, but it's a 3.9 that I use for my personal stuff. There's another environment I use for analysis that has another version of Python that it came with. So I believe we all have gotten to this particular Python page. At the top, we will just click on downloads. The nav bar that you see there, one of the text should be downloads. When you put your cursor on it, it will try and help you by directing you to your specific OS that you are using. But if you want to see all of them too, you can click on all releases. But because I am on a Windows machine, I can come down and click on the Windows. Okay, Abdul, I'm currently streaming at 1080p. So if the resolution is not that good, then I think you have to check your network. because I selected maximum the 1080p high definition resolution for the stream. So kindly check your internet if the stream's resolution is low. So we'll select Windows. And then on that Windows screen, if you scroll down a bit, there are what we call stable releases. As the name implies, it's a version that is stable. That means that if you are working with it, you have to be sure that you don't have plenty errors or some very minor technical issues. You are safe when you use those versions. And the pre-releases are mostly the very new versions, like with all the new features that the language provides, but they might have some small technical issues if you are using them. So you should be prepared for those ones also. And then, okay, Prince, yeah, Prince, thank you for the suggestion. Because I am using the host screen, it's not all the things that I can see. But Prince is saying that you can change your resolution by tapping on some settings icon. That is for you, Abdul. So you tap on the settings icon and then you can change your resolution. From there, you can choose the 1080p and then you should be fine. So we'll be using a stable release for our camp, and that is what I recommend that you use even after this camp. The particular version that we are downloading for no reason, I don't have any reason for doing that. I think I just like the version name. Is Python version 3.10.10. So if you're on a Mac OS, just hit Command and F. Let me get that one to as a banner. So Control or Command F, that is to say that you want to find something on the website. It's actually very little at the top there, and so you can't see. But what I'm typing inside is 3.10.10. So once you type the 3.10.10, it should take you to that particular text on the website. So it's a very cool trick, as I said, that I've shown you how to search for anything quickly on any website. Just hit Control or Command F, type what you are looking for, and then it will take you there. So when we get to the 3.10, and I am using a 64-bit machine. If you want to check your machine's bits, I think that shouldn't be difficult to do. If we come back to this PC, that is if you're on Windows, you come to this PC, I think you can right click on this and go to properties or something like that. There's a way to check it here. Yes, so you just, at the left side, you see the left side where the things are listed in a tree format. You just right click on the this PC and go to properties. It will open up your settings. Mine has currently opened on another screen, so you'll not see it. But on that screen that will open, when you scroll down, you should see whether your machine is a 64-bit or a 32-bit. And so I'll download the 64-bit, but I've already done it not long ago, and that is what is in my folder. So make sure that you also download it. You should have a file that looks like this inside your download folder. I really wish I can zoom in. I'm trying to bring up my Windows magnifier, but it wouldn't let me. Okay, the file looks something like this. I don't know whether you see, I'm trying to zoom in, but it's not really allowing me to zoom in on a single screen. So I think I'm just messing some things up. Let me just leave it as it is. But just go to your downloaded file and then let's take it from there. Please, have we all been able to download it? If I get 3 yeses in the comments, I'm continuing. Okay, 1 yes, 2 more to go. Edmond, yes, I'm working on that to make it available for you to watch afterwards. I am trusting the platform we are using to record it because, as part of the packages, when I was subscribing to this current plan, they told me they will record. So I'm just hoping they do. If they don't, I will use my own recording kits that I use for my YouTube videos to record the other sessions. So if this one is not available, I'll still link you to a particular video I have that shows on you how to set up your environment for Python development. And so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I think I have more than necessary, more than the 3 years. So when you double click on the file like this, it will take you to this installation page. Please don't be quick to click on the install now. Come down, and then there's a box here that says add Python to path. What it does is that, you see, when I brought up my terminal, if I bring it up again, or when I was checking my version of Python, I don't need to repeat those things. You saw that I was able to type Python dash dash version, and my computer responded. And that is because it knows where that particular Python is installed. So if we don't add this one to path here, we will have to do it manually before we can use the Python in any software that we'll be using afterwards. And so to save ourselves from that stress, please click on this add Python to path. Make sure the box is checked. If it is not checked, please don't click continue. Check the box. Other than that, if you're having issues, maybe if you have issues, you just put it on the platform. And if you feel like you have, for that particular issue, you have to message me privately too, you are free to do so. But check this box. Once you check it, click on the install now, and that should start the installation process for you. Currently installing the Python 3.10 executable and all that. Okay, so once that one is installed, let's come back to our search page. Now we will have to install an IDE, what we call an IDE, which I earlier said that is an integrated development environment. So installing. The IDE that we'll be using is called PyCharm, developed by JetBrains. So the only thing I will change here is I will change the Python to PyCharm. And then I'll click download. Be a brief summary of what I'm searching for, but you may not have this, so I'll not use this part. Okay, let me seek consent before. Please, can I continue with the PyCharm installation, or some of you are just are not there yet? Okay, this year's was 716, so I'll take it for that. So we can continue. I'm sorry if my face is not showing that clearly. I don't have a webcam with me currently, so I have to use my laptop's camera. I think when I checked the resolution, it was just about. The software told me that it is 480 that will be optimal because if I try to increase it, my viewers will have to have a higher internet. So I don't want to do anything that will drain your internet subscription. Okay, so I believe that the silence means that I can continue the downloading of the PyCharm. So the first link that says JetBrains, that is the company that developed the PyCharm software called JetBrains. They have very cool IDEs. So you just click on jetbrains.com. And this one that says jetbrains.com/PyCharm/download. And then it will take you to JetBrains' website where we can download our PyCharm. Sorry. Sorry, you are not supposed to see that. Okay, once again, let me zoom in. I think it's okay for you to see. There are two versions of PyCharm. Let me paste that link also as a chat. So if you're looking for the link to download the PyCharm, it's now in the chat also. You can just click on it from there. And there are two versions, as I said. There's the PyCharm Professional, which is a paid version. You can actually check out their pricing over here. But there's a 30-day free trial if you want to do that. Maybe if you want, you can actually take the 30 days. After all, you use 21 days out of it. But because the weekends are not included, you might extend beyond the 30 days. And after that, you have to pay before you use it. But there's another version called the Community Edition, which is completely free. For now, it's free. And so if you're asking for the difference between the two, I cannot really give it to you. I think their website should do that, but just that the Pro comes with some tools that will enhance your development. But at this current stage of our journey, we don't really need those tools. In fact, if you have them, it will really help. But without them, we are still good to go. I actually use the professional edition, but you don't have anything to lose if you follow along with the community edition. I don't think they will allow me to install both the professional and community. But what you want to do is to click on the download. If you are on another operating system, I think it's automatically redirected me to the Windows tab. But make sure you select your operating system. And then once you select it, please again, if you have money to pay, you can go for the professional. Other than that, please click on the community. Usually the one with the black background also. Okay. Okay, Gideon Amejo, if I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, for ethical reasons, I would not like to answer your question because so let me just leave it here. Let me just leave it here and tell you to get PyCharm on your PC. And so I'll repeat: if you have money to buy the professional, do buy it. If not, get the community edition. I think that is the answer I can give to you, George Amejo. I hope I got the name right. Vangela, I hope I got the name right. I should start the PyCharm again. Okay, let me quickly brush from where the search is. So I just searched for PyCharm download. you can look at the spelling in the banner beneath the stream. So when that one loads, you can scroll down till you see the one that says jetbrains.com. If it has jetbrains.com inside, then please click on that particular link. And I have to accept this privacy policy. So, Fangila, if you come to the PyCharm download page like this, all you have to do is to locate your particular operating system. Oh, I'm very sorry for the Mac OS users for the Python installation. Yours will be a little bit different. I'm very sorry it skipped me. I don't have a Mac OS here, and I also don't have a simulator on my machine or a virtual environment. But I believe the installation process should be quite simple. And once you use the OS, I think you should know how to install them. Also, if you're having any problems, please, you can leave it on the page. The macOS users who have been able to do that will help you out. Other than that, I recommend that you go online and do a quick search on how to install Python on macOS. YouTube will have some great videos for you, and then you can catch up with us easily. Same with the PyCharm also. If you're on Linux, those commands are usually very easy. You can go to your terminal and then just type the commands to install them. And those ones too, if you visit the specific page, they will tell you what to do. This one like this gives you the file that you can just easily install with. So each of them have their own. But I recommend that you take the community edition unless you have money to buy the professional. And so once you click on download, this one is quite a little huge. So it will take time. I think it's about 400 megabytes or so. Yeah. Yes, it's 428 megabytes. And depending on the speed of your internet, that should take some time. Mine is saying that it can do it in 32 seconds, but yours may take longer than that. Oh, we have about 4 minutes for the for the session. Okay, we are not limited to 1 hour, but it's kind of, I know most of you are very busy people, so I shouldn't take so much of your time. That is why I'm saying that the sessions are 1 hour, so that it will not be so much of your time. You can see that my PyCharm just downloaded here. But if we can extend the session, that means that one will also be fine. But if you go back to your Python installation, you should see that by now it will tell you that the setup was successful. If you see any other screen apart from this, you can let me know on the WhatsApp page. Okay, one of the things I really encourage is also that this should be a community. You know, one of the things that have made me who I am today is also the community I find myself in also. So try and then be interactive on the page and all that. The group rules should not scare you at all. Just that you should not use any offensive words towards anyone. That is highly discouraged. Please, can I continue with the PyCharm? I want to start my installation process, but I want to be sure whether you all have it downloaded. Or let me say most of you. Okay, I think I can continue. When it is downloaded, you locate the file in your downloads folder like this. And then you can either right click and open, or you can also double click it. Each of them will work. That is for the Windows people. And the Mac OS, yeah, Prince, that is completely fine. And as I said, the platform promised me that they will record what we are doing. And so I am really looking forward to that so that I can make the session available for you to watch afterwards. I think I did double click on this thing, or it's taking forever to load. My machine is running a lot of things and sharing screens and all that. So, oh, I have moved it from best performance also. That is why it is becoming slow. Okay, so I think you cannot see my screen now, or maybe you are seeing something blank. That is because the installer is prompting me. We call it the user account control on Windows, which tries to prompt you if you are installing a new software. So I have brought it from the other screen. See PyCharm Community Edition setup. Here, you just click on Next. And then you choose location. This one, I don't think you should change it. And this is where I actually want to come, because I will not proceed from here. I think, yes, I will not. But I have a version of it already installed. So I don't think it will be convenient to have these two versions on it. So this is saying that create a desktop shortcut, which I highly recommend if you think you will have a hard time locating the software. And then the next one says update context menu. Now, when we say context menu, it is the window that shows up when you right click on your computer. I don't know, my text should be too small for you to see. I was trying to use the magnifier, but things were not really showing. But you see this context menu. Okay, still let me use it. I think you should be able to see it. Yes, it is 7:30, I know, but let me finish this PyCharm installation and then we can close the session if you want us to. I don't know whether you can see my pop-up window, but I'm sure you can see. If you can see, then you can see some things like open in terminal, open in Visual Studio, open folder as data spell projects, and blah blah blah. If we check this box that says is it if we check the box that says open folder as project, it will add that particular option to our context menu so that if you have any folder, we can easily right click on it and open it as a PyCharm project where we can start typing our code. So if you want that option, I do, but when I was installing my version of PyCharm, I mistakenly forgot to click on it, and it really pains me that I did that. So you can do it. And then for the create associations.py, I don't recommend it, but if you want to do it, what it's just trying to say is that uh, for all py files, which I will explain later on when we start the actual camp, the py is the extension, or should I say an indicator if I'm not being too technical, for Python files. So the Python files are files that like contain Python code that we have written. So if you check this box, then when you double click on any .py file, like PyCharm will open the file automatically. I don't like it because that is not the only editor I use or IDE I use. If I want to open a file, I'll open it up and then drag it in. But if you want that, fine. And then one option also here that says update path variable, which is add the bin folder to path. The bin folder usually comes with most softwares, and that is where most of the tools that the computer can interact with directly with the software is. So if you add what we call your bin folder to path, you actually allow your computer to easily interact with that particular software you are installing. But this one requires a restart, and you don't need it. I don't, maybe in the future, but for now, you don't need it. I've not used this option before because I don't need it. So once you check the desktop shortcuts, which I do recommend, and the update context, which I do recommend, just click on next. And then this place, you don't have to change it. It's just the start menu folder. After everything, you can click on install, but I will click on cancel because I already have the professional edition. Okay. Lofty, I apologize for the time. And in fact, there's one very important thing. I didn't anticipate that we'll exhaust the time without fulfilling our task for the day. But this thing, I have to do it also. So I really plead with those who don't have the opportunity to view the extended version of the webinar. But if you do have still have some subscription to continue, then I want to show you other things which are equally important also. But if you don't, then you just have to pray that StreamYard, which is the platform we are using, will record it for me as they said, so that it will be available for you to watch at your convenience time. PyCharm is a heavy software, and so it will use a good percentage of your resources, your computer's resources, your RAM, your whatever, your CPU. And so there is a lightweight version. If I say a lightweight option or version, that means another thing like PyCharm that can help us do what we want to do with Python, but will not take so much of your computer's resources. And so I'll take you through how to install that particular IDE also, and then we can end it for today's session. That one is not from JetBrains, it is from Microsoft, and it is called the Visual Studio Code. You can see it from the banner beneath the stream. And so if you are interested in the Visual Studio Code, if you're using a powerful machine, you shouldn't have a problem. But even with your any machine, PyCharm can still run, but I'm looking at the speed for you. If you are looking for a lightweight version, in the case where your computer is not very powerful, then you can download Visual Studio Code. So we can just change this PyCharm to Visual Studio Code download. And that one too, you can get it from code.visualstudio.com. Let me get the link. Usually Edge will give me their own links, but just search for Visual Studio Code download. The name once again is on the banner beneath the stream. And so when I click on it, it should take me to the IDE's website. Prince, if you say you have Core i5, that is a good processor spec, but it's not only the processor that really runs your software. So, but I think with that processor, if you still even have an 8 GB RAM, even 4 PyCharms will still work smoothly. You shouldn't have a problem. Just that this also is another option. So this place, they give us the option to choose straight away from the OS that we are using. And this is something that usually confuses people a lot, because you see system installer and then user installer. People usually don't know which one to choose. Okay. When you go to your computer, if you are using Windows, when you go to your local disk C, you see a folder called users. And that should house your computer's account name. Mine is Tommy. So if I open it right now, you should see Tommy. And there's also the system installer, which slightly goes away from the user folder. But one of these have superior privileges than the other. In fact, if you choose system installer, that means if you have more than one account on your computer, when you install it on your account, when you choose the user and you have more than one account on your computer, I think when you install it on your account, sometimes maybe it's a shared computer, so everybody has an account, they log in with their password. If you install it, a user version on your account, it will not be available on the other person's account. But if it is a system installer and you install it, I think irrespective of the account, it should be available on everybody's account. So if you are not using your own PC, maybe you are using a PC from a lab, from an office, and you want the installation to be seen and used by only you, then go in for the Windows installer. Other than that, the system installer. But if you are also using your own PC, like me, I'm using my own PC. I have the account on it, so I usually always go in for the user installer. So you just click on the 64-bit. This one, they didn't really show me the 32. I think they detected my system automatically. So I can click on it, and that should trigger the download. Yes, it brought me to the download page. It says that it should, yes, my download manager has picked it up. That is also about 19 megabytes. Mine should finish downloading very soon. I think so. So in any case, just download the user setup because you are using a shared PC too. Maybe you don't want people to see. So mine has also downloaded. Yes, Edwin, you can download any of them. You can actually also download both if you have enough space on your PC. I actually have more than one of the IDEs. If I should zoom into my taskbar, or if you see, you will see that this icon, the blue icon here, let me see. You see the blue icon here? This one is Visual Studio Code when I put my cursor on it. And then this one is the PyCharm IDE. So I have both. And depending on what I'm using or what I'm doing at the moment, I go in for one of them. The PyCharm is very powerful for Python development. And the Visual Studio Code, I also use it for Python sometimes, but not for, should I say, serious Python stuff. Because that one, PyCharm does it better for me. But this one, if I'm doing web development things, that's my go-to IDE. So if I'm doing Django stuff, that's my go-to IDE. And yes, so you can have either or both of them, and that should not be a problem. I can't really wait for everybody's version to download, so I'll go through the installation. If you have to take notes, please do. Okay, let me bring it from the other screen. This one, I have to accept license agreement. So it's actually a lot, and I know most people don't read it. They don't read it. But if you have the time, please go through and then read it. Yes. There might be important things in there. Another the screen I'm interested in. I think this one, most of them, you saw them in the PyCharm installation. So when I right click inside my ID, my folder, and I zoom in, you should see at part of my context menu, open with code. That is because I check that box here. This box that says open with code to Windows Explorer directory context menu. Now, this one's own are two. Let me explain both of them. This first open with code to for Windows file context menu. The IDE, which I will explain in detail on Thursday, for this particular Visual Studio Code, they made it such that it can open almost any file, any programming file or text file. So if you check this one, that means that if you click on a file, not on a folder, if you click on a file, like a text file, you have the option to open that particular text file with Visual Studio Code, sorry. And the second one, which is for the Explorer, or sorry, the directory. Directory is the more technical word for a folder. So that means that if you click on a folder or inside a folder, that is right click, sorry, inside the folder, you have the option to open the folder also in Visual Studio Code and start typing or developing there. And then this option that says register code as an editor for supported files. As I told you, they made this IDE to be for almost all programming languages. The PyCharm is specific to Python, but you can still do some things like JavaScript and the rest inside the professional version of PyCharm. I think you can even do HTML and CSS and code inside the free version, but that one doesn't have support for code highlighting and syntax, all those intelligence, whatever they are, we'll get to know very soon. But if you click on this, that means that all the files that Visual Studio can open, you see the small icon of Visual Studio there. That means that if you double click on it, Visual Studio will open it for you. I think I usually leave it. Do I or I don't? I've forgotten what I did during my installation, but it wouldn't be any harm if you leave your own. And then add to path. The add to path, please do it. This one, it doesn't require a restart of your machine. It's a shell restart, which you will not actually even see that is happening. Do it, and I'll tell you why. So add to path, do it, and I'll tell you why. And so once you select these options like this, you can just click on next and install. Also, I will not, because you can see from my taskbar that I already have it here. So there's no need to install it again. So I'll cancel out of this setup also. Okay. 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 The open with code, Vangela, I'm addressing your question. The open with code, let me see. It's not everything on my PC that you guys should have access to. So let me bring this one to my other screen and make sure that you don't see what I don't intend that you see. Let me see. I'm coming. I just want to get a file to do some illustration. Okay, so Benjila, okay, this file structure should not confuse you. This is a project I have uploaded to my YouTube channel. That shows how to build your own chatbot like the GPT and BARD using JavaScript and the Google's Gemini API. But you see this readme.md is a type of file called a markdown file, whatever that one is. I think I should factor in so that one of these days I teach it. I teach it because it's a file that you really be encountering as a developer. If I double click on this file, because I think that code should be the default editor for all supported files, it should open it in Visual Studio Code for me. I've double clicked it. and I expect Visual Studio Code to open it. You can see from my taskbar that it is blinking, just that it opened it on a different screen. So if I bring it to your screen now, it has opened the file for me. The content shouldn't be something that should bother us. If you don't understand, that shouldn't be a problem at all. And even the interface itself, because we will go through it step by step. So this happened because the file opened in Visual Studio Code because I checked the option that says, did it say open code with supported files or something like that? It did say something like that. And the option that says add open with code to files context menu. If I zoom in on this same readme.md or even the main.js or even any of these, when I click on right click on it, sorry, and I come to the options, you see that when I right click inside my folder, you saw many options than this. This one, only data, spell, and code are available because when I was installing them, I checked that on a file's context menu, these options should also show up. And so if you want to be able to see this option when you right click on a file, then you check the open with code, the one that says files context menu. But if I don't click on any file, but I zoom into a blank space inside my folder and I right click, you will see that the options are now many. Many IDEs that I have on my PC are telling me that I can use them to open the folder. And that is because the Explorer, the directory context menu. I don't know whether I've been able to explain it for you to get it. Yes, Elijah. Yes, I understand, but I didn't really even. If your subscription is up, I think I said it some time ago that you can excuse the meeting. Just hope that I think they will do the recording so that I can share it with you later. This is an onboarding meeting. I have to make sure that you get everything right, that we don't keep on going back and forth when we start the actual thing. I am coming to end. Actually, there are some things that we're supposed to do, but we push them to Thursday. How we can configure the IDE for our development. That should be on Thursday because the time is fast spent. We cover everything that we have to do. Okay. The next is to familiarize ourselves with the platform that we'll be using. So I think we are far past this part. The platform is called StreamYard. I think it should be appearing on your screen somewhere there. I don't really have access to the viewers interface. It's the host interface that I do have, but I think you have been able to navigate your way around how to ask questions and all. Prince showed us how to increase the resolution. And so I think that should be what we need to know for now. If there is anything that we have to know as we go on, you will get to know it. And also, I'll require you to fill that small form you did fill this evening before you join this stream every day, because that's what I'll be using to take attendance for the camp. And the next is Q&A section. So I'll give 2 minutes tops. You can type your question in the comment section. That is if there's any. If there's no questions, then you end the stream and just make sure that you follow the steps and get the Python and any or all of the IDEs installed on your PC. You don't have to open it to do anything. Maybe you can mess some things up, but if you know what you are doing, it's completely fine. You can go ahead and configure it. Other than that, just leave them, let them rest there, and then Thursday we'll go through it step by step. Okay, so it's 1 minute into it and there's no question. So I believe we are all okay. Okay, Babalola, if you did not click on the add to path, okay. No, there is a way around it. There's a way around. But if you want to uninstall and install too, that is also a good option. Just go to your, if you are using a Windows machine, just go to the start menu, search for the Python folder, and then right click on it. There should be an option for you to uninstall it. And then after it uninstalls, you can install it again. But please, this time around, make sure you click on the add to part, and that should work. If you still have a problem, please, you can leave it on the platform or message me privately, and then we can explore the other option also. Okay, Angela is asking. Okay, Angela, for the installation options, okay, I don't think I can go back and do it. So you can take a shot of it, put it on the page, or if you think you have to send it to me privately also, you can do that, and then we can take it from there. My pleasure, Engineer Makati. I see you. It's really an honor, and the pleasure is all mine. Okay, so I guess that should be all for today. I'm sorry I've extended the time. I didn't really promise you that the onboarding is an hour. I have to make sure that you get everything right. So, if there are anything you can discuss on the page other than that, just wait in anticipation. And then on Thursday, same time, we will start developing in Python. Do have a lovely day. Rest of your day, depending on which side of the globe you are. I can't say night. So I'll end the stream now, and then I'll see you on Thursday.